Hey everyone, welcome for this eighth episode of the Venly Expert Talk. Today we have with us Sandeep, and for us, Sandeep is a very special guest and quite a celebrity into that blockchain space. So Sandeep is co-founder of Polygon, and before I start with the conversation, I just wanted to give some more practical details. We are streaming this live on Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube, and we're also recording this for our Spotify and Apple podcast. I'm recording this from Miami today, so it's a special episode for me as well. I'm here in Miami for Art Basel and the Decentral event. So if you were in town, just ping me on Twitter. I'll be here till this evening. Just last reminder why we do this. We want to inspire this generation of Web3 builders with great stories by great minds. And I believe today we have one of the greatest minds in the space with Sandeep. You can also ask your questions in comments on all the live streams, and we'll see them popping up here. So welcome, Sandeep. It's a pleasure to host you today on our podcast, and allow me to say that I'm grateful that people like yourself are here to move the space forward and help improve that Ethereum scalability today. I think all of us have witnessed a lot of pain with the gas fees, and that Polygon is a great solution for fast transactions, cheap transactions, efficient transactions. So yeah, thank you for this. Can you start by introducing yourself? What is your background and what got you into crypto?
Hey, man. Thanks. First of all, thanks. Thank to you, and as well as the Venly team for having me here. Um, so, in terms of my intro, so basically, I have been into the entrepreneurship side for quite some time. Personally, and always wanted to do something on a large scale. And my journey of and I by my basic education, I am computer science engineer, and after that I did one management degree course also, that too specialized in technology only. So I mean, throughout my journey of entrepreneurship, a lot of things happened. Previous startups experience for them led me to kind of explore into deep tech space. That's when I stumbled onto initially Bitcoin. I read something about it, and then realized that basically it's a very revolutionary idea. And then kind of like, more than a technology, it's basically kind of a fundamental shift how human beings can interact with each other. That is, computing something or calculating something in a decentralized way, right, without trusting particular any particular middleman or the trusted party. And when I read about Bitcoin, the good thing was that the computer science engineer and me kind of started thinking that this computation, what Bitcoin is doing, is essentially nothing but a very small kind of computation, which is like a payment computation, right? Like simple payment, pay A pays to B. But then, what if we can run complex, business computations in, in this decentralized setting? That kind of excited me a lot, and then I stumbled onto Ethereum. After that, and I realized that, okay, this is it. Like, this is the thing that I've been looking for. And luckily for all of us, that Ethereum and Ethereum community has been there. It kind of gave you the first hand experience of those Web3 ethos, and then kind of makes you feel kind of like mission driven on why you are here, right? And I think since then, I've been falling into the rabbit hole, and
Yeah.
here we are. uh,
Excellent. Yeah, yeah. And I think you fell pretty deep into the rabbit hole because you've built like a great product with a lot of users. Can you, for people that don't know Polygon, I don't believe that there are many people that don't know Polygon. But could you like introduce quickly what Polygon does? Yeah, what it does today, and maybe
so
also like Polygon in the past it was Matic, and now rebranded to Polygon, right?
Yeah. So Polygon originally started as a plasma approach. Like plasma is basically nothing but for laymen. Basically, Polygon is a you can think of a layer two or secondary layer Ethereum solution. So what do I mean by that? Basically, what I'm trying to say here is that there are two ways of scaling blockchains. One, you can try to scale on layer one, that means the blockchain itself. That means if you want to scale Ethereum, you can try to scale Ethereum on layer one, which are the efforts from the ETH community, ETH 2.0, all those things. But the thing is that blockchains are built for decentralization. And the blockchain trilemma, basically it's kind of a quasi theorem that you can think about, is that which says that out of decentralization, security, and scale, you can choose only two. So the layer one actually has to choose decentralization and has to choose security. So the scaling is a fundamental trade-off. So no matter how much you strive for, the layer one blockchains can only achieve certain amount of computational bandwidth. Now, if you want to have mass adoption and bring millions and millions of users on blockchain, then how do you scale it? So the other answer is to scale these blockchains on a secondary layer, which is we call people call layer two. We call it secondary layer because our definition of layer two is much broader than what layer two actually is. So what layer two purists would say. So essentially, we started when we were Matic Network. We started with one kind of approach that okay, you know, Matic is trying to scale Ethereum using this approach called Plasma. What happened is that we strived 2 years to build the mainnet, and then one unfortunate thing with the crypto industry is that it is very short term. It moves from hype to hype. And what happened is that after a particular time, the hype and the market attention moved from Plasma to, initially optimistic rollups, then ZK rollups. Now there is Starkware, and then all of these different kind of technologies keep coming. Before Plasma, also there were state channels and things like that. So so what we realize is that even though we build a very production ready product and everything, but community's attention kind of move to the other kind of solution approach. Secondly, those approaches were better also from where we started. So we realized that we want to be approach agnostic for scaling Ethereum. So we focused on our mission. Our mission is to bring mass adoption to Ethereum and to scale Ethereum, accordingly for mass adoption, right? So we said that okay, we now no longer will be any particular approach specific. We'll be approach agnostic. That means we will we will choose or we will pick up whatever approach becomes mainstream, and we'll try to build these networks which allows developers to build on these chains, and we will focus on building the production ready chains, and build the ecosystem efforts and things like that around those chains. Now, that is the main idea of Polygon. Polygon is basically an approach agnostic scaling platform on top of Ethereum. So you have Ethereum scalability via a variety of approach. That's why it's called Polygon. Poly means multiple approaches, and Polygon has today already three or like four or five projects announced. Out of them, three projects are already live.
Awesome. Yeah, really good
Yeah.
introduction. I believe that with this introduction, you answered a lot of pending questions. But one question, because you're talking about scaling Ethereum, are you also planning to scale other blockchains beside Ethereum, or will you focus on Ethereum for the coming years?
We are not focused on any other blockchains. Our fundamental belief is that Ethereum is the ultimate value transfer layer, and and the ultimate security and settlement layer.
Yeah.
And on top of this value and settlement layer, you will have these business activities moving into these secondary layer chains, which Polygon is looking to provide. So we are fully focused on Ethereum only.
Okay, excellent. And I know that Polygon doesn't like to be associated with a layer two solution or can be named a layer two solution. What is the big difference you would say between Polygon compared to the layer two solutions? Or am I wrong? And can you say Polygon layer two?
So Polygon, you mean like how Polygon compares with other layer two solutions?
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm. So see, like as I said, that Polygon is a suite of solutions. Like by suite of solution, think of it like AWS. Like the developers who know what AWS is, basically Amazon Web Service. Like if
yeah.
you are a Web 2 developer and if you are looking to get centralized computation, what you do, you go to AWS, you choose which kind of server you need, you create a server for yourself, and then you run your applications on top of it. We believe Polygon is going to be something like that on the for the Web3. They basically, you need or you want computation, decentralized computation. So you come to Polygon and then choose what kind of solution you want. So are we have a suite of solution which has various different kinds of layer 2 solutions. So if you want to compare Polygon, then you have to compare, let's say, solution by solution. If you want to compare Polygon SDK, which has independent sovereign chains, then you would have to compare it with Cosmos or Polkadot related substrate. But difference with Polygon SDK is that it is, these chains are default connected to and bridged to Ethereum, right? So that is
Hmm.
one this thing. Then if you see Polygon POS chain, you would have to compare it with some kind of like commit chains and things like that, which do not exist in that much plenty. If you want to see pure side chains, there would be things like XDAI and some other kind of different chains. Similarly, if you come into the pure roll-up side, on the optimistic rollups, we are not doing any activity, like we are not building any product right now on optimistic rollup, because we are more focused on zero knowledge rollups, ZK rollups. And on ZK rollups, we have four different initiatives. So if you want to compare, let's say, Polygon, Hermes, it might be comparable to ZK Sync. If you want to compare Polygon Maiden, it might be comparable to Starkware, what Starkware is doing and Starknet is building. If you want to compare, let's say, some of the other solutions that we are launching, they would be compared to probably, or maybe, mixture of some of these approaches. So we are on VK side, like Ernst and Young, Nightfall product is an enterprise privacy protocol, and where we are, completely focused on enterprises. And I don't know of products yet because industry has not caught up over there. That's why we feel that we have a very good lead over there in terms of those products. So, various different solutions in Polygon can be compared to some layer twos,
Yeah.
but overall, Polygon as a suit, there. I don't think there is any other competitor who is trying to do something similar.
Great. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you for this answer. From our experience here at Venly, we know that Polygon is really hands-on when it comes to providing technical and marketing support. How are you able today to scale that kind of service that you've been giving in the last couple of years, especially since we are dealing with a complex technical? And I can imagine finding the right people in such a short time frame must be very difficult. Is that a challenge for Polygon since you have everyday new projects that are joining the network?
Oh, absolutely. Like, I mean, the talent acquisition, both in-house talent as well as attracting new projects and talents to build on an ecosystem, both are very, very difficult because Web3 is still in very early stages, and it's very hard to find talent on all the fronts. And especially, at Polygon internally, to build these teams who can provide, support, handhold teams, guide the teams and all that, it's really hard because that talent is not available actually. I'm not even talking about tech talent is like, I think Web3 tech talent is kind of the most rarest commodity right now on the planet, and everybody is behind them. So it's difficult, definitely
Yeah.
difficult, but having a very strong brand for Polygon now has helped us a lot. We originated from, we three co-founders, were from India, and due to that, we were able to attract a lot of top talent from India. So that's a good source. But now we have Polygon Hermes in Switzerland, and our Polygon SDK teams are in Eastern Europe. So we are able to attract like Indian, European, and recent with some of the recent projects joining Polygon. We have now strong presence in the US also. So we are able to now attract global talent, but still it's really difficult and hard to do all of this.
Yeah, and to give an idea, how big is the team today, and how fast did it grow in the past 2 years?
I would say the last 1 year itself, I think this January we were 40, 45 people. Today we are 210,
Wow.
220 people. It's for a protocol, it's like a very big team, but obviously we are doing a lot of different things also.
Yeah.
So it kind of, makes sense in that sense.
Cool. Yeah, and talking about the different things that you do as well, you recently launched Polygon Studios. Can you give a bit or dive a bit deeper into that and what you're doing with Polygon Studios, and what is the thought process behind it to launch Polygon Studios?
So Polygon Studios thought process is very simple. That NFT and gaming, and as Venly also has proven by onboarding so many. I think probably a million plus users only Venly has onboarded onto Polygon.
Yeah.
That there are so many projects right now building on NFT, building NFT and NFT related things. There are brands, there are celebrities, there are multiple sections within NFTs right now, like as we said, that brand and celebrities, these are the two big segments who are trying to do these NFTs. Then you have these IP holders, like traditional IP holders in our industry, they are trying to do NFTs. Then there is the art segment in the NFTs and all that. So there are various different divisions, and from within the Polygon main, which is infrastructure focused, very technical focused, outfit, it was becoming difficult. So we wanted to create a team of experts who specifically focuses on these things, specifically focuses on working with the amazing partners like you guys, where we can build these experiences tomorrow, help and kind of incubate, help and kind of help them launch these these experiences into the world, globally. That was the main reason of starting Polygon Studio, so that we can have like strategic focus on these things.
Excellent. And are you focusing on a specific industry, like blockchain gaming with Polygon Studios, or would you say that you also are there for brands and IPs and other types of projects?
No, so basically, Polygon Studios is our one-stop shop for any kind of NFT related stuff,
Yeah.
right? So whether it's brands, celebrities, everything falls under Polygon Studios.
Okay, makes sense. Thanks. And do you think like when because you were talking about the NFT space here, are do you see the NFT space become bigger than the crypto trading space? Let's say. What's your take on this?
Oh, for sure. I think, in terms of its attention and number of users, I think it's already on path to become bigger, much bigger than the trading side of things, right? Because NFT basically brings the actual product market fit to blockchain, right? So, I mean, I think this is, if you take cumulative users and compare it with the number of traders in this space or simple token holders who are basically in the crypto financial industry, I think this number will be very easy to cross this number. Because number of users would be much higher for these consumer product and consumer applications of
Yeah.
NFTs.
Yeah, indeed, in my opinion as well. Like makes more sense. It's a little bit more tangible. It's a great use case of blockchain, and it's a great way for users to enter the Web3 space. My opinion, it's going to be very important that all those new users that we're onboarding in the space, in the Web3 space, we should be sure that they have like a good user experience with good tools, with good blockchains, not paying too much gas fees, and especially not losing their digital assets. So when it comes to wallet and yeah, storage of digital assets is going to become super important for keeping those new users in the Web3 space. Could you like it is easy to see how gaming, the whole gaming industry is embracing blockchain and NFTs, and it's one of the first industries that really start making waves in the blockchain space. I would say, if you just look at the sandbox, you mentioned earlier, they have towards 1 million users that we have on board with their wallets. But from your position and what you see in the space moving, which will be the next major market or industry that will start adopt blockchain?
I think, I mean, obviously, we discussed that NFT is going to be like, I feel that NFT is going to be everywhere, wherever there is any form of entertainment, any form of engagement, loyalty, and all these things. And I think that market is huge in that sense. Apart from that, I think DAOs are picking up a lot, but that is also Web3 specific phenomena. Later on, I mean, I don't know how many people will agree with me, but I think somehow the government applications will become a very important sector, because blockchains provide this immutability, accountability, and transparency to the application. So I think that has a lot of implications in the government sector, and also on the enterprise side. Also, I am very bullish. That's why we are working with Ernst and Young, and there are many other enterprise clients that we are speaking to. That if because these clients basically they want to come on blockchains, probably public networks also, but they want to also have their data privacy, and being able to comply with the local laws like GDPR and things like that. And I think all kudos to the firms like Ernst and Young and all that, who are doing or building the public blockchain tech, which can cater to these enterprise demands. So I think enterprises, where these, especially these financial enterprises, then supply chain, vendors and things like that, like supply chain interactions between various vendors and suppliers and clients. Can also become a very important, segment. And these segment itself, like, for example, supply chain and just procurement between various vendors and all that, is itself is such a huge multi-billion-dollar value unlock for the whole industry. So I think the sequence of event I see is like, right now we have NFTs. Next, the biggest explosion is going to come on DAOs, and then the layer twos are going to really explode and completely establish the absolute dominance of Ethereum. And after that, we will, in next 12 to 18 months somewhere, we'll see some big enterprises adopting blockchain tech. And then once the privacy and identity, in next probably 18, 24 months, 30 months, whenever we are able to solve these privacy and identity related things, then it's going to be the super cycle where the big enterprises will be able to adopt. And then there is no stopping completely, like, in terms of blockchain, taking over the world.
Cool. Yeah, that's an awesome vision, and yeah, makes a lot of sense coming from you as well. It's lovely. Like for me personally, I love to hear this, and I love to hear that all these real world use cases are going to become yeah, important to do with blockchain, like the DAOs, the privacy, and having your own identity or your own custody. That's going to be super interesting, and that's why we're moving to Web3. So yeah, that's great to hear. Are there any other like real world use cases of Polygon network that currently have a lot of adoption or potential that you can mention?
Oh, absolutely. Like, we are specifically, like, for example, there's this enterprise platform called CargoX, which produces and stores these, shipping related documents in Egypt. They use, Polygon network to have their, document IDs and things like that. Similarly, in India, government of Maharashtra, which is like a very big state, probably has the population, um, you know, two-thirds of the entire United States, like that big state in terms of population. They are storing their vaccination records, or their this RT-PCR test related, COVID test related records on chain, on Polygon. Similarly, we have in some hinterland, we have even seen some of the grievance addressal for the hinterland, like tribal areas in India, like which are very far away areas. Some of them are affected by Naxalism and things like that, where tribal people are not able to get their voice out to the government bodies. So they are also using blockchain in terms of storing their grievances, so that it is highlighted to the topmost level. Nobody in the middle can take bribe or corruption to kind of not let these things go to the top. Even the police departments are looking for it. So these are some of the real world use cases where I think, as I said, that this um, uh, um, you know um, accountability and transparency kind of use cases will help a lot for these public systems to become more efficient and more accountable.
Cool. Yeah, lovely to hear. That makes more tangible for people that are not aware of everything Web3 and blockchain to really see that there are real life use cases, and it's just going to get more and more use cases, and to optimize things, to make things more trustworthy, transparent. So that's a yeah, great examples that you just shared. Um, the topic of this talk is the future of Polygon and its vision to make blockchain invisible. Can you like give some examples or explain more what you mean by invisible?
So by blockchains being invisible, we mean in terms of the user experience, right?
Yeah,
So right now, like when you use your mobile, right, you don't care about, like whether you are calling via CDMA network or GSM network, which which cellular network your phone
indeed.
call is going through, right? So I mean, that is the kind of future we want to achieve, where blockchain, we are very clear that. And that's why, like previously, I mean, only now some layer one and infrastructure, things are like doing mass media marketing and all that. We never really thought in that way. We always, did our marketing centric to developers, and and like we our kind of approach was always to be present to the developers who are building applications. The end users don't need to think much about these technical complexities. And to be honest, like I keep saying that, let's say in 3 to 5 years from now, if we are still talking about, let's say if in 5 years we are talking about which blockchain is the best blockchain, or layer one or layer two, that means the whole industry has failed, as a collective.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel that blockchain should be invisible, and then user experience layers, like what you guys are doing at Venly, right? You guys should be the front facing, or kind of the middleware, where users interact, where user interact with the applications, and then applications need to become the heroes. Where the whole focus is on what kind of applications are being built, instead of, like, we all, like the whole crypto community, kind of shilling their own bags, that okay, I love this protocol, I love that protocol, you know especially the infrastructure side I'm talking about. They should be talking more about dApps, which dApps they are using, which dApps has more users, and then things like that. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, that's so true. Like this is gonna transform, and on Twitter we're gonna have other conversations. I hope in a year or two. I think a good example on something that we collaborated together on is with Shopify, with the Shopify app that Benny created on Polygon. This is like a great example that people will be able to purchase NFTs via Shopify store, and they don't even have to know like that NFT is living on a specific network or a specific blockchain. They don't even have to have a wallet at the time of purchasing. They will just purchase that item on Shopify and get an email with a link to their wallet attached to their email address. So I believe this is like to bring the new people and to have a really good user experience. It will be super important to have the right tools. And indeed, it doesn't matter like what blockchain is underlying, or it matters, but it's not like necessarily relevant for the end users what blockchain is underlying the asset. Um, Talking about that Shopify application, how do you see like the future of e-commerce? Do you see more and more like today's big e-commerce stores integrating NFTs in their shop?
Yeah, I mean, we are already seeing some early examples, and right now I can't name few things, but but there have been some we have been in discussions or talks with some of the very big brands who are trying to use these Shopify integrations. Hope that happens. Yeah, but I'm very excited for that. But right now I don't think that I can take some of the names.
No.
Yeah, but at your end, you might want to talk more about how you are seeing that option of the Shopify integrations.
Yeah, I think from our end, we see a lot of demand, and we indeed see like bigger brands in especially in the fashion and entertainment industries that are selling NFTs as well. The thing is that more and more brands realize that they need to attach utility to those NFTs, so they need to see it more on the long term. So they need to have like a good strategy, and I'm sure like Polygon Studios will be able to help them as well on this. But
Uh,
that's going to be super important for those brands to have the right NFT strategy for their community. So we see a great evolution, and we believe that NFTs, like every company, at a certain moment they will integrate NFTs, even if it's like for marketing purposes, but it could also be for community building. It could be to get feedback, to create DAOs, sub DAOs. So yeah, I think that move with Shopify that Polygon and Venly did together is really great to bridge Web 2 and to Web 3. So this, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see which brands are going to go live in the coming weeks. We know, but we can't leak those alphas yet. But make sure to follow Polygon and Venly on Twitter, and you will see that soon. It's also great like for press releases because it's real world use cases, real world brands, and whenever they come out with NFTs, it makes more sense for journalists to talk about it in mainstream media. So that's yeah, that's gonna be cool. Sandeep, for I have a few questions left. Also, I wanted to share with the audience. You can ask your questions in comment on LinkedIn, on Twitter, even on YouTube, and we'll see them popping up here. We have one from Surya that I'm gonna cover later on. But I have a question that I like to ask all our guests. Is like we have several developers and future founders listening to our podcast, or we hope that we have some big future Web3 founders. And what advice can you give them in terms of opportunities, technology, or what advice in general on do's and don'ts based on your experience with successful projects?
So I think one of the biggest advice I can give to the entrepreneurs who are looking to do token startups, right? Let's call them token startups. I mean, if you are doing a non-token startup, then your kind of experience is like the traditional startups. But if you are doing a token startup, I think one of the things is basically, I mean, as everyone will tell you that, okay, you need to focus on community and things like that. I am also saying that, but what are the actionables? How do you do that exactly? How do you create a good community? And as a founder, I would recommend every founder to be present in front of the community, in more kind of more stronger capacity, in the sense that, you, like, most of the times I see that founders, raise funds and things like that. They will set up some community managers, and they will never directly interact with the community, right? That's why they never get the nerve of the community, what their community is thinking and all that. So I think, whether it's on Twitter or your Telegram or Discord, at least in the initial stages where you are growing from a, let's say, a very early stage project to a mid cap, and then eventually to a large cap and all that, at least till the mid cap stage, you should be very, very, of course, like maybe even later, but if your time doesn't permit, but even at least till mid cap stage, when you are reaching top 100 rank or things like that, before that, or unless you cross, let's say, top 25, and your schedule gets too busy, you should be directly appearing to the community. I personally did so a lot, and I used to be on our Telegram channel, constantly active, answering the questions of our community, myself, and all that. And that actually resulted in a lot of, like, hardcore Polygon fans, which go beyond the financial benefits and all that, and always are there for Polygon community, and that's why we have a very cohesive community in that
Cool.
sense. Uh, mm, Apart from that, I would say that also, the Web3 token startups have different kinds of, like, they have all the problems that a normal startup can have, right? But on day zero, or fairly early in your journey, you are launching your token. So you have these whole financial markets, publicly listed token, and all that stuff that happens with a company in the traditional world, where the company has been in the business for last 5 years at least, and they have done series A, B, C, then they do an IPO, and then their basically shares are out. Here, the company, even though it's not shares, it's not equity, although these are utility tokens, but then they are live fairly early in your journey, and it puts a lot of pressure on you as a co-founder. So, one thing that we also learned hard way is that also, once you are fairly capitalized, start building a very formidable and fairly incentivized second layer leadership within your project, so that they can shoulder a lot of burden from you. Otherwise, as a founder, like, I mean, I and my co-founders, like, we work, I think, like, right now, it's still like a lot of pressure is directly on us. We are very, very directly involved, and that's why we are now hiring more and more people. But still, I think, especially from my side, I'm very deeply involved in a lot of day to day kind of activities, which I feel that personally I should have onboarded more leaders early on, slightly more early on. Even now, it's good. We are able to attract a lot of talented people, but I personally feel that it would have taken less toll on my, let's say, physical health or mental health and all that, because right now it becomes like too stressful for me, right? Because Polygon is so big, so many projects, like thousands and thousands of applications are there, and anything goes wrong, I still am very deeply involved in all those things. So that would be my second advice for the this thing, because for the Web3 token founders, that because this has like the whole startup, all pressure related to a startup, plus a token which is public. You have to be publicly facing, you have to report all the time on a almost on a hourly basis. In the real world, when you do an IPO, you have to probably put a report every 3 months, quarterly report. Here, your community can ask you anytime, right? So you are on 24 cross 7 reporting mode, right, to the community. So so that's why, like, hire a strong layer 2 or secondary leadership for your organization early on.
Great. Yeah, I believe that's a great piece of advice for founders. And funny that you say layer two management. It's indeed like layer two
Yeah,
person
I
that
also
you
laughed at the
hire.
idea. Yeah.
If people are interested to join so first there will be people interested in building on Polygon. Probably would advise them to check out and join the Discord and go to Polygon Studios if they have a good project to pitch. But if there are people that want to join the Polygon team, how are you recruiting? Do you have like a job page? Are you recruiting cross borders? What do you look into people when you recruit now?
Yeah, we have job boards, on our website, also on Angel List. Also, we have jobs posted. Plus, we have also some job posted in various job portals like Spring Roll and things like that. So we are present there, but we are also like trying to consolidate and create one section for career pages and things like that. Polygon, and
Okay.
definitely we are like right now, COVID has made the world more global in that sense. So our whole team is now like truly globalized team. We have people from
Yeah.
US to Europe to Africa, to like India, Middle East, Philippines, Southeast Asia, everywhere, Australia even. So I think every continent we have people in Polygon today.
Nice. Yeah, it's lovely to hear. And the question from the audience, from Surya, and the question here. So, hi Sandeep, I'm a Polygon fan here. Kudos for the team, and for the great work that you're doing. In October, there was an article claiming that more than 40% of the token supply was spread over 4 wallets. I saw that as well. Can you comment on this for people that would have thoughts in the decentralization of the Matic token? Was that correct?
Absolutely. So basically, this the addresses that you see, this 40% tokens, even now the percentage is even less. It's around 32% and all that, because
Hmm.
these tokens are smart contracts. These addresses are smart contracts which have locked tokens, which are
Okay.
supposed to be unlocked over a 4-year period. And a lot of our even founders token, for example, this October we had our founders unlock, but nobody took the unlocks because we are all in Polygon. So even those addresses where you see some of their tokens, like we have as founders also we have not taken unlocks, as well as many of those tokens even now I think 32% are still logged within the smart contracts, which are supposed to be released slowly. And it also includes staking rewards, so which are not owned by anyone. Out of these 40% tokens, there would be some founder unlocks and there will be some staking rewards. Apart from that, all of this is community treasury, which is only supposed to be used for growth of Polygon ecosystem. The way that you are seeing that we are picking up so many, and we are attracting a lot of ZK, top ZK projects to join Polygon umbrella. All of that, all those tokens, the treasury, Polygon treasury tokens are being used to grow the Polygon ecosystem. The liquidity mining things and all that you've seen, that's there. Those are the tokens that are used.
Awesome. Okay, yeah, that's a very clear answer, and great to hear this. Thank you for that question, Surya. And because your time is super valuable, and yeah, I'm super thankful to have you here on the Venly Expert Talks, Sandeep. I have one last question to wrap this up. What are your favorite Polygon projects? Could be a gaming project, could be, I don't know, an NFT project, a PFP project. What are the favorite ones for you?
My favorite project is probably Aave.
Ah,
They have, like,
cool.
one of the most creative teams for
Yeah.
NFTs, and the way they design their tokenomics and the way they have built this beautiful decentralized community. So that would be one. Zedrun is also very favorite to me. They are probably one of the big breakout project.
Hmm.
Poly Market is really great. Plotex is getting so many users now. They are a prediction market. So there are so many apps that I love uh, on Polygon now.
There are. Thanks. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, don't forget to pet your gotchis for the gotchi fans listening here. Avogotchi is indeed a great project. Work with Venly as well. So yeah, great, Sandeep. This was great talking with you. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your thought with us. Any last words or things that you want to share?
Um, yeah, I mean, only thing is that we are, like, Polygon is becoming very bigger and bigger. I think the things that we are going to announce within now in the next 1 week or so, at the Polygon ZK Summit. Do come and visit us on the Polygon ZK Day with ETH Global. We are going to make a very big announcement, and that would probably put Polygon right at the top spot in terms of its zero knowledge cryptography competencies and the products that we are building. And ZK is the biggest frontier for us, and we are going bigger and bigger than that. And apart from that, thanks so much, Jan and Venly team, for having us here, and thanks for being such amazing partners. I think you are one of the closest partners where we work, and work with so many projects and get them to adopt Ethereum, and it's so amazing to always collaborate with you guys. Thanks for
Great.
having me
Same
here.
for us. Thank you so much, Sandeep. Talk to you later. Enjoy your day, and thank you for all your answers. Next episode will be with John Jordan, and he's specialized in everything that is a blockchain gaming. So for the people that are listening to this podcast regularly, in 2 weeks we will have John Jordan here. Thank you, Sandeep, and thank you for everyone for listening in here. Bye bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye bye.